Yo, K-Kunnnn here. Today I got early access to Manato, the quote-unquote rumored S-rank but then turned into an A-rank. But yeah, anyways, this is the media server which is subject to change. So without any further ado, let's get into Manato's kit, which can be easily explained by saying Defensive Assist Unga Bunga or EX skill Unga Bunga. So you just have to make sure that this bar called Blazing Heart is full and you will enter the Molten Edge, which consumes your HP every basic attack you do and gives you 10% crit rate for free. Well, as long as you keep defensive assisting, you won't run out of Blazing Heart. You can also parry when the boss/mob attacks you in the middle of charging your Blazing Heart by doing a simple tap EX key or holding your EX skill. You'll take less damage and it does follow up with the slam. By doing this, it will increase your crit rate by 50%. Juicy. And your adrenaline regen will increase by 100%, which leads to his EX skills that heals you a crap ton while doing orgasmic damage. Oh, and the only time I would do his basic attacks is when you're in the stun phase of the boss. You can do it outside of the stun phase as well, it's fine. But from my experience playing him, I just usually do it when the boss is stunned. Now his additional ability is activated if you have a support or a stunner in the team. Easy to unlock, this basically introduces these stacks called Remnant Heart that heals his HP by 2% with every basic attack hit. To get the stacks, you need to do a chain attack with him, which gives out 4 stacks, and if you ult with him, he gets 8. So you can basically do a double chain and he will get an additional 4, which totals up to 16, and the cap is around 20 stacks, which his M6 provides the last 4 remaining when you press his EX skill while getting attacked. Now these are his stats, this is basically my stats for him, and then skill priority, you basically upgrade core passive, basic, and then you can probably switch around the ult, EX, assist. These two are pretty important in this kit since you want the defensive assist, but his ult and EX does a lot of damage as well, so it's pretty good. And his studs, you can probably just don't upgrade it, or you just upgrade it to your desired level. Now disk drives, you only really have one option, but I guess maybe in the future you might get another option, but right now that's the Yunquei Tails and a 2-piece crit rate or maybe crit damage, and lastly maybe a fire damage bonus if you can manage to get a high crit rate and crit damage. You can go for a fire damage bonus, but most probably you're going to go for the Woodpecker Electro just for the consistency. The 5th slot is going to be fire damage bonus or HP, depends on how good your substats are. It's pretty close to one another as you can see by the side-by-side comparison. Now the Wengine options. His A-rank signature Wengine, S-rank engine. Rest in peace intern Kunn, whoever made that one simple error. So basically is his best in slot, which gives out 24% increase in crit rate when you decrease your HP and a permanent 24% fire damage bonus. And if you keep refining it to the max, your crit rate requirements for him will get lower and lower. Here's kinda a ballpark amount of the crit rate you'll need for each Wengine rank. You can also use the Qingming Birdcage as a stat stick and it helps with this crit rate requirement. Radio Wave Journey is a solid option for low spenders, and if you're an F2P, you're pretty much stuck with the Puzzle Spear, unless you want to snipe his Wengine with the risk of getting Lucius Wengine. And let's head into his Mindscapes. All his Mindscapes makes him better. M1 gives you fire damage bonus and an increase to your basic attack damage. M2 basically ignores fire resistance when in Molten Edge. M4 makes it so that you won't die and basically increases your HP. And lastly, M6 increases your fire damage, gets you 4 Remnant Hearts, and doing a slam attack after pressing in his EX skill. Now let's head into teams, starting with the premium team Lucia, Jifufu, and Manato. It's one of the most comfiest team to play, with Manato, Lucia providing the buffs needed for Manato, and Jifufu buffing while stunning and helps with overcapping your decibels. This team is pretty much guaranteeing you a comfy clear if the right buffs is there in Deadly Assault or Shio. As you can see, I'm mostly on fielding with the 2 other units and just using Manato to defensive assist and do his monkey rage. Sometimes I'm doing a hold EX skill or a tap EX skill whenever his blazing heart goes down a bit, and the stunning rotation, I'm just doing a double chain with him and ending it with his ult. And if you have like spare time, I'm just like doing like normal basic attack, whacking the enemies, bonging them. Pretty simple. Next is like a freemium team. It can be like Manato, Panyan Wu, Lucia, or maybe Jafufu if you replace one of them. Both of these supports help out Manato, with Lucia obviously making the biggest buffing contribution, but Jafufu is a close second to it. With this team, it's pretty much the same way you play Manato, defensive assisting and Unga Bunga slamming the enemy like there's no tomorrow, an EX skill holding to recharge your blazing heart, and obviously don't forget Panyan Wu's sheer force buff, and the same thing with stun rotation, double chain with Manato and nuke the enemies with your ult, EX skill, and then just do some basic attacks bonking the enemies. Now an F2P team, Panyan Wu, Polkra, and Manato, the A-rank team basically. With this team, you'll encounter the issues of not having enough defensive assist because Polkra needs some of them too if she doesn't have her EX skill available. Sometimes you might accidentally switch into her, which you don't really want to, but it's better than nothing. This team gets the job done. You might have to do some retries here and there in Deadly Assault and Shield defense, but it's not bad. Now pros and cons. Pros, he's a solid A-rank starter. He's probably the new standard for any A-rank DPS because he's pretty much kinda like Soldier 11 but a lot more easy to play in a way, since you don't have to do that through rhythm game to activate her fire suppression. But yeah, he's pretty good, solid. If you don't have anybody yet, he's a solid pick to pick up and just build and maybe replace later on, but he's still pretty good if you don't have any fire DPS. So asterisks on easy to build and crit master because for one, he gets a lot of crit rate and crit damage just by playing him, and if you actually get his like signature Wengine, you will really have a easier time building him since you don't really have to get a lot of crit rate since his Wengine provides a lot of it. If you're interested in a unique playstyle like him, he's basically free to play Yidhari with like HP consumption, and he's pretty fun to play, not gonna lie. He has built-in heals, so if you think you really need a healer, I don't think you really need one because his heal is pretty high already. By just doing like one EX skill, you're basically almost full HP, and then the remainings can be used by the remnant hearts just by basic attacking and you will heal all of it. So I don't think you really need a healer with him. Now cons. High risk, high reward character, so obviously the more lowered your HP is, the higher his attack potential will be. So if you're not really comfortable playing in a low HP all the time, then I don't think he's the fit for you. If you haven't played like Hu Tao or like Blade, then I don't think this character is gonna fit in your playstyle. Having his Wengine will make your life easy, but the risk of getting Lucia's Wengine is kinda pretty high as well. If you're not really gonna pull for Lucia, then rest in peace. You won't have the Yung Kuei Tail's crit rate at the start, but as you keep like using his EX skill, then you'll get it there. But yeah, you won't really have full uptime on it, but it's there. Reliant on defensive assist, so if you have like a stunner like Polkra, then you really need to min-max and manage your assist points to use on both of them and capitalize on that. But for his like premium team, I don't think this is really like issue there. He gets really good at M6, but yeah, again, you have to pull for that, and maybe you don't really like Lucia and you'll get maybe 1 or 2 copies and then like 0 copies of Manato, which can legit happen. But yeah, I think that about covers Manato's kit and gameplay. Sub so I can stay in the basement, like for the algorithm, and leave down in the comments below what do you think of Manato. Wish he had been an S rank or maybe an A rank, is more suitable for the wolf boy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.